Welcome to the Soulfire Podcast, where every day we talk about real life, real shit, real raw. On this show, you can expect us to dive deep into topics like marriage, parenting, money, business, feeling like you want to give up, fighting for yourself, just straight soul healing. This podcast is all about life. Hey there, it's Power Coach Alicia here, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational life coaching, transformational speaking, and soul healing. We're talking about setting your soul on fire. I specialize in helping women put themselves first without feeling guilty, getting out of their own way, and finding themselves again. No fluff, no hand-holding, no bullshit here, just love, light, and peace as we journey through this thing called life. Welcome to episode 21, where we are talking about my 21 life lessons for 2021. Life lesson number 1. It's okay to take a break from the pressures of your life. Early in 2021, I had hit rock bottom. And for the first time in my life, all the weight of everyone's world, the state of our world, all the things that I had come to understand and know about the world that we live in, my personal life, the way I felt inside, it all came to a head. And I really, literally crumbled. In my next episode called The Angry Little Girl, I'm going to be talking to you all about what was going on then and what happened. But the beginning of 2021 was just really actually horrible. I was going through what I call a soul cleanse now. That's what I call it now. But at the time, I had no clue what it was. And so at that point, I took a break from everything. So all of my pressures of life, it's okay to take a break from the pressures of life. That's lesson number 1. I took a break from all the things that were causing me pressure, causing me overwhelm, causing me the force to, must do, have to, should do. And I just fucking quit. And one of those things was being the sole breadwinner for my household. So it's actually December of 2020. I look at my husband and I say, I'm done. I'm not making any more money. I'm not making the effort. I don't give a fuck. It's all up to you. Here you fucking go. And that's how it actually happened. Like, I was completely done. And I took off all the pressures that I had in my life and just chilled. Lesson number 2. It's okay to be doing all that you know how to do, but still feel like you're on a pool floaty in the middle of the ocean during a hurricane. So for me, during that time where I was going through that soul cleanse and that big breakdown and where like I just couldn't really find the meaning of life and why it mattered, I was still meditating and journaling and angel card reading. I was doing all the things that I knew how to do to help my soul. And yet I felt completely destroyed, completely empty, and like I had nothing left to give. And so I just want you to know that it's okay to be doing everything that you know how to do to help yourself and it not work. That doesn't mean you're a failure or there's something wrong with you. That just means there's something that you need to do for you that you haven't learned yet. And the only way that you're going to learn it is to go and search for the answers, start implementing what you're learning, and see if that helps. Lesson number 3. It's okay to be vulnerable wherever you are. We would literally be out to dinner and eating, and I would be crying in the middle of a restaurant. And I felt so dumb at the time, because it was like, duh, like you're literally out to eat and you're crying. But instead of beating myself up, I let my tears flow. I, felt my feelings. I talked to Daniel about what was going on, and it was whatever it was. What anybody thought or, how they felt about it or anything like that, it didn't matter because it was about my journey at that time, and anybody else's opinion about my journey did not matter. Lesson number 4. It's okay to cry anytime you feel it. I have been an extremely strong fucking person in my 37 and three quarters years of life. Like, extremely strong. There was a time where nobody in my life had ever seen me cry. Then there was a time that the people who were close to me in my life only seen me cry when people died. And that entire part of me evolved over the years to where, for the most part now, when I feel like I want to cry, I do cry. I still find myself holding it back, that strong side of me that's like, knock it off, that's fucking weak, this is bullshit sort of thing. And me attempting to hold it back. But within that same day, I find space to release it. And for me, that's really huge. So I just wanted you to know it's okay to cry anytime you feel it. It doesn't make you weak, and it actually cleanses your soul and helps you release the things that you're holding on to. Lesson number 5. It's okay to step away and reset. It doesn't matter who you have in your life and how much you love those people. If you don't have the capacity to give them anything from you because it's taking everything you have to hold yourself upright, it's okay to step away and give yourself just that little ounce that you have to give for what you need. And if those people don't come forward and pour into you and show up for you and be there for you on their own, then that's their burden to bear. And maybe they're not the best people for you. Or it's the lesson that they need to learn, that when someone is breaking down and they're having a hard time and they pull away from you, that's precisely the time you show the fuck up for them and you give them whatever you have to give to help put them back together in all of those moments that they help put you back together, right? Flip. That's for the people in your life to do for you. And if they don't, then you step away and you give to you what you can give. Obviously, if you have a partner, you have kids, they're pouring into you at that time, and they should be, and it's okay for them to be. That's a ... side note. A lot of women, especially, well, I think it goes for men as well. You want to shut down, like shut out, right? Behind closed doors, in your own privacy, when you're breaking down, when you're struggling. You do your best to not let your partner see it. You do your best to not let your kids see it. And let me just tell you, you are not doing anyone in your life a service by not allowing them to see you when you're breaking, by not allowing them to be there for you when you can't be there for yourself. And people, I don't know, maybe child psychologists, whatever, might tell me, oh my God, you've allowed your now 15-year-old, almost 16-year-old to be there for you when you were breaking apart. That is going to scar him for life. Oh, no, no, no. I 100% disagree, because all the time I poured into him, all the life lessons that I gave him, all the power, the energy, the fire that I poured into him, when I'm breaking down, he takes and gives right back to me. That is the power of being open and transparent and sharing that with everybody who's closest to you, right? Allowing your kids to see it, allowing your partner to see it, so that they can show up for you at the time that you need them, from all the time you showed up for them. Like, all that I've poured into my kids, everything that I've given to my husband, the fight in his soul that he never had, that I gave to him, saving his life when he couldn't save his own, putting him back together, helping him heal 95% of his PTSD. I deserve that support and love and help as well when I'm breaking down, and so do you. Lesson number 6. It's okay to let people go. Man, this year, you go into a year not knowing what's going to happen, right? And at the end portion of 2020, it's Christmas Eve, and we're all doing our family Christmas Eve thing. And that year, my brother and my sister-in-law of 24 years announced that they were getting a divorce, not at Christmas, but previous to that, right? And it like literally rocked my soul, because she's been my sister my whole life. I'm 37 years old, so, do the math. I was 36 at the time, It literally rocked my entire world, because she had been my sister, right? So we're at Christmas Eve, and my brother says, oh, she's coming over. And I'm like, really? And I'm so excited. And we have our Christmas time. We all open our presents. Oh, And at the end of it, I just hugged her and cried because I missed her so much. But I didn't know, and like in that moment, like that was the beginning of the end of like our entire family. I thought, oh my God, she came to Christmas, you know? Like, we're gonna be together. Like, it's gonna be okay that they're going through this divorce. She's gonna still be here. But it was the beginning of the end, and we went on into 2021, and I lost my brother. And I mean, my nephews and my niece, I mean, they're kind of still there, but I lost my other brother, not the one that got the divorce. And it's been hell. I have five brothers, and I only have one that's an active part of my life, you know? And so I share that with you to tell you that it's okay to let people go, you know? Maybe you don't understand. Maybe it doesn't make sense. And if she was listening to this, she would tell me, like, oh, well, I'm still here. You can come see me whenever you want. It's just not how that is. There's no responses to text messages. I never even knew where she lived for almost an entire year because it felt like this whole secret thing, which is the thing she told me on Christmas Eve. Like, I'm like, I miss you so much. And she's like, well, you can come see me whenever you want. And I said, I don't even know where you live. And she said, well, you can get it from my nephew, right? And it was just like those feelings of loss. I feel like the end of 2020 into 2021 was like a whole loss. All these people are still alive, but there's still a whole grieving process, right? And I feel like they're all now dead and they're all now gone. And it's okay to let them go if they don't want to be here, right? If they don't want to be an active part of your life, which doesn't necessarily mean texting you all the time and talking to you all the time and calling you all the time, like not any sort of that unnecessary pressure and expectation, but just those feelings of we're still a family, we're still there, and we're still connected. Lesson number 6. It's okay to admit where you need to grow. So there's been plenty of opportunity this year where I have been presented with something that has affected someone else or bothered someone else. And in my past, it would be a defense mechanism like, no, fuck off, that's your problem, whatever. But now I've realized, like, if it's something that I want to grow in, something I want to be better at, something I want to do better, I'll literally look at that person and say, you know what? That's an area that I want to be better and I want to grow, and I'm working on that, right? So there's a really big key there. If it's not something I give a fuck about, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to work on it. And it's their fucking burden to bear, right? But if it's something where I see that and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I do want to be better about that. Then I am going to admit that that's a space that I need to grow in and that I want to be better in, and that I realize that, and it's something I want to do for me. So for example, one of the things I don't do is plan hangouts. I don't. Not with my friends. I never invite them anywhere. I never invite them to hang out except for the 2 events a year, my Halloween party and my Christmas party. So those 2 events a year, that's where I invite all my friends. But in and out of the whole year, month to month, week to week, day to day, I never invite my friends anywhere. Well, that affects one of my friends greatly. Well, for me too, it bothers me. I'm like, why don't you do that? Like, it would be fun. It would be nice. Like, you could plan things. You could invite out to lunch, just a quick thing where you hang out and you catch up. Why don't you do that? That's something that I want to change. Not just because it bothers my friend, but it actually bothers me too. So that's a beautiful example of admitting where I need to grow. In my marriage, another place where I need to grow and where I want to grow is being more sweet and affectionate. Those 2 things are not a part of my makeup at all. I'm very nurturing as a mother to my animals, but partner-wise, I'm not as good at that, but I want to be. Probably for the first time in my life, this last year, I've wanted to be so much more than any other time. And so stepping into my power of 2022, these 2 things I am going to grow in, and I'm going to get so much better in. And I can't wait to see what my lessons are of the year of 2022. Lesson number 8. It's okay to get to the heart of the matter with a person, right? So let me say that again. Lesson number 8 is it's okay to get to the heart of the matter with a new person. So when you meet someone new, it seems like your guard's up, right? You got to shield yourself. You don't want to let them in and tell them all about it, let them know what is, who you really are. It's like this stupid fucking game we play for protection. But I'm letting you know that one of my lessons, and one thing that it's okay for you to do, is get to the heart of the matter with a new person, because that person could really become your new friend. And some of the closest friends I have ever made and have to this day that are new friends as an adult, right, since moving back to Utah, come from getting to the heart of the matter one of the first or second times I ever met them. And now they're really close friends and they're family, right? Lesson number 9. It's okay to tell people who the fuck you are. This has been such a crazy lesson for me this year because I am in my power. I own my badassery. I know who the fuck I am. I love who I am. It is all that I am connected to that creates the soul fire. It's why I'm Power Coach Alicia and show up as I am. However, I have been shown over and over and over again that I don't tell people who the fuck I am, and it's true, I don't. So online in my business world and business relationships, fuck yeah. I'm badass, I show up, I rock it out. Here is Power Coach Alicia, right? However, in my day-to-day life with my friends, my family is still learning, right? With my friends, though, they don't really know who the fuck I am. They're learning. It's becoming more clear because I'm opening up. Some of them listen to this podcast, right? Or situations happen where here she is, and they're like, what the fuck just happened? Stay tuned for my episode called The Dying Soul, because that is a great episode to show you what I mean by showing the people in your life who the fuck you are. I never tell anyone that I'm an author of 2 books. Live the Life You Love, You Deserve It. Live the Life You Love, Relationships. And right before recording this podcast, I decided that I'm writing a new book in 2022. And I'm positive this book is going to be my memoir. I've been asked a lot to, quote unquote, write a memoir of my life. And I think it's time. It's absolutely time as I move into this new chapter of me and bless and release this entire journey of my life up to this point. Who else am I, right? I am a unbelievable soul coach who can infuse you with my power to get you to take action for yourself that you could never get yourself to take, that therapists could never get you to take, right? That's what I do. I teach you how to show the fuck up for yourself in a way that you never give up on yourself again. You fight for yourself every fucking day because you deserve it. That's who the fuck I am, right? I am a brilliant business coach. I can make money from nothing and teach you how to do the same. Like, it is so freaking unbelievable how I do it. Not to mention, I can take any process, system, flow and edit it down, remove steps, make them so easy to implement, bite-sized chunks, and reteach it like nobody's business. My brain has the ability to change something that is complex into something simple and pull it in to an easier to implement system. That's who the fuck I am. I love so deep. When you are in my heart and in my soul and what I call my bubble, that's it. You're in. I will fight for you. I will kill for you to the ends of this earth. I will go for you. So just because I present as this hard ass bitch on the outside, my soul loves so deep that the hard ass bitch is how I protect to make sure that you deserve my soul love. So when I tell you in lesson number 9 that it's okay to tell people who the fuck you are, that's exactly what I mean. Lesson 10, it's okay to speak your truth. It's okay to speak your truth. Whatever is true for you, it is okay to speak that from your heart, from your soul. And it is not okay for anyone to tell you that you can't. It is not okay for you to tell you that you can't and to shut that down and to hide that from the world and to gulp it into that pit of your stomach where you feel sick because you didn't say anything. That is not okay. Let your truth fly. And those people who can't handle it don't deserve you. And those who can do. Lesson 11. It's okay to do what feels good. It doesn't matter what it is. If it feels good, do it. Right? Now, I hit this like really weird example, but fuck it, we're going to roll with it. So here's my weird example. I am 37, as I mentioned, 37 and 3/4. And in my lifetime, masturbation is not a thing that you do, right? It's more dirty and gross, and it's just not part of this generation. I think the next generation, it's well more welcome and normalized, and it's like a huge sexual generation. But I don't feel, and it maybe just be the way I was raised, I don't feel that my generation was more like openly like sexualized sex talk and all those sorts of things, right? So when I read it's okay to do what feels good, I instantly thought like even if it's masturbation, okay. So probably an over exaggerated example, but somebody needed to hear that. Lesson 12. It's okay to spend your last dollars. What? Yes. You're never told that, right? Save for a rainy day. Save 10% of the income. Save because you never know what happened. Save for the whatever. Why? You save all this fucking money and you die tomorrow, then what? I say spend your last money and make the fucking memories, because with the law of attraction and the way the universe works is when you spend that money and faith, it always comes back. It always comes back. I'll say it again. It always comes back. When you hold on to the money and you fret and you stress because you have this bill to pay and that bill to pay and you have no fucking clue how you're going to do it, and you're hoarding this money and you're holding on to it, and those energies of lack and like, oh my God, what the fuck am I going to do? Law of attraction states, okay, since that's what you're putting out there, here's a whole bunch more shit that you're going to have to pay for with the money that you don't have, and a lot more stress to you. Here, if you get no lesson 12, it's okay to spend your last dollars and do it. Trust me. The more you spend in faith that it's going to come back, the more money comes back to you every single fucking time. Do it. Lesson 13. It's okay to take new chances. I have purchased over $200,000 worth of courses and investing in coaches and mentorship, a lot of fucking money. I have spent upwards of $750,000 in Facebook ads, right? There has been a lot of chances in my life that I have taken. I literally went to bed one day, woke up the next day, not fucking doing business anymore, not making any money anymore. You better get a fucking job, right? I'm done. That's a huge chance. I opened a brick and mortar store in my break time, the time I was just chilling in 2021, and just did something that felt so good in my soul. There were crystals and candles and angel cards and just all the amazing things that was Power Coach Alicia manifested into a store. And it was such an unbelievable time for me. It was a huge chance I took to open that store and invest. And every single time an opportunity comes up that I am soul connected to, I take that chance. A $15,000 investment, the most I have ever spent with one coach in 1 year at one time, I made knowing that money isn't coming in every month. Like, where the fuck am I going to get that, right? Don't worry about it. Spend the money. The universe will give you more back. It's okay to take new chances. And the more chances you take, the more experiences you are going to have, and the more life you're going to live, and the more memories that you will make. Lesson 14. It's okay to go all in. So I've made the decision that the most recent coach that I've invested in, that I'm all in. I hang out in the groups. I show up for every session. In those sessions, I play all out. I give other people advice. I give my perspective. I coach them from my soul. I'm also there implementing what I learn and growing into this next level version of me. I'm sitting in this space with this coach because she is at a level that I would love to be at in a way that is so peaceful, right? So I am all in here. It took me so fucking long to be all in my marriage. It took me a very long time to be all in my friendships. And I want you to know that it's okay to go all in. You're going to miss out on way more not going all in than you ever will just saying, fuck it, I am in. Lesson 15. It's okay to set clear standards and boundaries in your marriage. ... And with your children, right? ... And with your friends. ... And with your coworkers. ... And with your extended family members. It's okay to set clear standards and boundaries with every single person in your life. Only if you are going to set clear standards and boundaries for yourself in return. Isn't it time that you stop sabotaging yourself, stop being everything to everyone, and actually do the work to find yourself again? Because I am here right now inviting you to take me by the hand and say yes to yourself. Because you're either going to stay exactly where you are, feeling the way you feel, and continually spiraling down, or you've had enough and you're ready for a change. My amazing Soul Circle program is exactly what you need in order to get the bi-weekly dose of power to fight for yourself a little more and to move to those next levels of your personal power. It is an implementation-based personal growth accelerator that helps you go from feeling powerless, disconnected, exhausting yourself, being everything to everyone else, letting yourself go, barely hanging in there sort of life, into putting simple processes in place, using tools and strategies that help you step into your personal power, unleash your inner badass, and put yourself first without feeling guilty, unapologetically authentic. Soul Circle is all about helping you renew, rebalance, rebuild, reclaim, rekindle, and recharge you. Soul stands for set a strong foundation for your mindset to create a harmony in your life. Overcome what really has you stuck so you can free yourself of guilt and people pleasing once and for all. Unleash your inner badass. Live as the person you know you are instead of editing yourself for those around you because you feel like you have to. And then learn where to invest your time so that you feel peaceful, connected, and like you again. This is a life acceleration membership that's implementation based with support, no excuse accountability, and a community of like-minded women who are finding themselves and stepping into their power as well. Soul Circle is for you if you're sick of procrastinating, fear failure, you don't ever feel like you're good enough, you are full of self-doubt, you are constantly sabotaging yourself, you feel like you need to people please, you put yourself last, you feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and stressed, you continually give even when you have nothing left, you wear your strength as a badge of honor, but you also feel defeated, and you are a fighter, yet sick of fighting because you don't know how to stop. And it's definitely for you if you're pissed off, frustrated, overwhelmed, annoyed, scared, and you can't seem to wrap your head around when you got to this place or how you got stuck. I would love to welcome you to my Soul Circle membership program because it is exactly what you need to continue taking those consistent steps forward to shifting your life, stepping into your personal power, unleashing your inner badass, and yes, finding yourself again. To learn more and sign up, go to soulcircle.life. Again, that's soulcircle.life. Right? There is a non-negotiable line. For a long time, and this lesson, I said marriage. So I want to talk a little bit about this. So for a long time, I felt like I had all of these like non-negotiables. If this happens, then I'm done. If that happens, then I'm done. If that happens, then I'm done. Like, if you don't fucking do that, I'm pissed. Not literally, but that's how it would happen, right? If this situation arises and that action wasn't taken, then I'm upset, right? But that is muddy standard and boundaries. When I say clear standard and boundaries, it's like 100%, what is the deal breaker? 100%, if this happens, I'm done. 100%, if this is lacking, I'm fucking out. Clear standards and boundaries. It's literally come down to 3 things in my marriage. 3 very clear things. If these things are broken or not met, I'm out. Immediately? No. over time, right? Obviously, people grow and change and forget, get lazy, ebb and flow. So it's not like if it happens today, I'm done tomorrow, right? However, clear boundaries. So one is feeling like I'm not supported. If I feel like I'm not supported and like I'm doing this alone, I'm done. One is being cheated on, right? Like that is a non-negotiable for me. I'm not coming back from that. We're not fixing this. This marriage is fucking over, right? So not supported, being cheated on, and feeling emotionally disconnected. Like my emotions, our connection doesn't matter. Those three things are non-negotiables, right? So it's like, oh my God, there is emotional disconnection a lot in marriages. I know. That's a non-negotiable for me. That is a standard and a boundary that I have set. If our marriage goes longevity without emotional connection, support for me, because he always gets unending support from me. So support for me from him or being cheated on, I'm done. Cheating on is instant. I'm out. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. The other two is longevity. I don't know the timeline, but I'll know when it happens, right? I don't have a 3, a 6, a 12-month timeline on those other two things, but I'll know when it's there. But the part of that I want to mention on lesson 15, setting the clear standards and boundaries, is that it's very important that you're speaking your truth in this time. So when you feel disconnected emotionally, when you feel unsupported, or when I feel unsupported emotionally, or unsupported in general, or disconnected emotionally, I'm sharing that. I'm letting him know. I'm not expecting it to be this fucking detective shit where he doesn't know and then I just spring it on him. Oh, no. That's not how I roll. I'm always speaking my truth. So I'm always letting him know. I'm always communicating. And those are his times and his spaces to shift like back into it, right? And if he doesn't shift and he stays in that space for a long term, even though I'm continually letting him know over that time, then I'm out, right? Lesson 16. It's okay to share when you're hurt with anybody in your life that's within that bubble. If they're outside that bubble, they shouldn't be able to hurt you. Remember the bubble I talked about earlier? That's what I'm talking about here. It's okay to share when you're hurt. Lesson 17. This is a funny one. It's okay to talk during massages. Like I always thought there was a standard, right? You go get a massage, you're supposed to be quiet. This is your time for serene, reset, let all the things go, blah, 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 blah. But my current massage therapist, we talk in every single session. And at first I was like, this is so bad. I'm not getting my reset. I'm not getting my relaxation. Like any other time I've ever gotten massages, I don't talk to those fucking people. I don't build a relationship with them. I don't fucking care, right? But we have like a close friendship. And so we talk, and we built it in massages. So I didn't know her before. It's such a beautiful thing. And I still leave rejuvenated. I still leave reset. I learn so many things about myself and my personal growth and like what's next and what I want to do in those times of massage because I'm in this space. I don't have my phone. We're communicating and I'm like remembering things and re-experiencing things. It's almost like I'm doing it in a dream state. It's so beautiful. Lesson 18. It's okay to stick up for someone you love. Like, this is so huge for me because I am a fucking fighter. Like, I will cut you. Like, my personality is throat punch, slash tires, whatever I gotta do, don't fuck with me. Like, that's just my personality. And so I have this, like, way of sticking up for and fighting for the people I love. One thing, though, is it doesn't happen reciprocal. So people don't do that for me. They don't stick up and fight for me because I'm so fucking strong, right? I'm the one that's like, let me take out my fucking earrings. Don't let these nails fool you sort of person, right? And so I just want to let you know, it's okay to stick up for someone you love. It's okay to be there for them in that support in what they need, right? Now, it's not okay for you to fight their battles for them. Do not mistake what I'm saying here. Lesson 19. It's okay to be 100% transparent in life and business. In all the years that I have been an entrepreneur, which is almost 16 years, if you can believe it, I have not had a brick and mortar day job. Brick and mortar. That's funny. Like a day job where I've worked for someone else for almost 16 years of my life. Okay. And in all 16 years, there has only been 3 times where my clients have seen me cry. 3 times that my clients have seen me cry. Are you ready? Here we go. First time, my mom was leaving to go back to Florida. And I was on a live when she left and I cried. 1. 2, I was in the middle of a live and a Facebook message popped up and my executive assistant had died and it was out of the blue. 3, in this podcast. Yes, episode 21. 3 times. One of the things that I've learned in this journey is that it's okay to be 100% transparent in life and business. I don't cry often in front of people that are outside my bubble. And what I mean by that is, some of you who listen to this, you're in my bubble and you know that. Those of you that know, right? Like, I would cry in front of you, but I don't cry in front of my clients because most of the time I don't feel like crying. 1. And 2, for me, that is still a weakness area that I'm growing through. However, I learned the lesson this year that it's okay to be 100% transparent in life and business because that's what lets people know that you're human. That's what lets your clients know that you struggle or that there's still those soft spots, right? With my sister-in-law, who is now divorced from my brother, it's a soft spot and I don't know how long it will be there. I didn't know it was going to make me cry on this podcast. I've cried over her now 10 times this year, right? But it's okay to show that transparency and, letting people go. Just because we're letting people go doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, doesn't mean that it's not painful, doesn't mean that you don't feel those feelings. And so that's the thing this year. I've been more transparent in business than I ever have before. And you just wait until you listen to the next podcast, The Angry Little Girl. That will be the most vulnerable I've ever been in my life in business. Because as far as I'm concerned, this podcast is business, right? In the same breath, though, it's like my outlet to my soul just to help you, right? And help myself. So lesson 19, it's okay to be transparent, 100% transparent in life and business. Lesson 20, it's okay to clear your schedule at the last minute. It's okay. You have a full fucking schedule. You have all this shit to do. It's completely packed. And you hit a place that you are about to spiral. Clear your fucking schedule. Let everybody know you need to clear your schedule. Whatever. Something has come up. I need to rebook you. It's O-fucking-K. Write that down. It's O-fucking-K. Yes, it's one word with hyphens. It's hyphen O. Right? Clear your schedule. At first, it's going to feel weird, and then you're going to feel so relieved, so free. Lesson number 21 for 2021. It's okay to let your kids and husband grow up. It's okay to let your kids and your husband grow up. We spend so much time rearing our children and helping our partners. I think there's a lot more relationships where the women are helping their partners grow than there is where both people come to the relationship grown. And it could be husbands helping wives grow too, right? In my experience, it's me, right? So that's why I say wives helping husbands, but that doesn't mean it's always like that. It's okay to let everyone grow up and step into their power. When I was rock bottom at the end of 2020, I was shown that Daniel was ready. He was my strength when I had none to give myself. He was my fight for me when I wasn't fighting for myself. He was the belief in me that I didn't have in myself. And in that moment, I didn't see it clearly. But looking back, that was what he was doing. I would say, I can't do it. I don't feel it. I can't, whatever it was. And he would say, okay, it's okay. I'll do it for you. That was my 16 years of being the fight for him, pouring into him forcing him to, pushing him to greatness. Every fucking fight we ever had, because he would not fight for himself, because he would give up on himself, because he would feel sorry for himself, because he had pity parties, because he was holding on to his past. All of it came to a head at the end of 2020, and all of a sudden it just fucking clicked for him, like in an instant. And all of that I gave to him for 16 long years, where I did not think there was hardly any growth happening, was proved to me in an instant and over the next month, where he was for me what I couldn't be for myself. He had grown up. And my kids, I see it in them all the time. I remember one time, and this was before, I guess this was probably the first realization to me that my kid was growing up. So I was stressed because I needed to make $30,000. Yes, you heard that right. $30,000 in a very short amount of time, because I had bills to pay, I needed to make payroll, and I needed to pay myself. And it was for like the month, but now everything for the month was coming to a head, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was so fucking stressed out, and I was talking to Daniel about it, and Ronan was listening. And I shoveled down my food for dinner, and I was on my way back to my office to do even more work, have a meeting with my vice president at the time, and figure out what the fuck we were going to do. And on my way back to the office, Ronan stopped me, and he put his little arms up on my shoulders. He is like 9 at this time. He put his little arms up on my shoulders, and he said, "Mom, look at me." So I looked at him like it was so fucking weird. And he said, "Who was it that told me that I could do anything I put my mind to? Who was it that told me that anything was possible?" He's like, "You can do this. You are my mom. You will figure out a way." And that was like the beginning of Ronan starting to grow up, right? He gave me that power. When I was rock bottom at the end of 2020 and I had nothing left to give myself, it was the craziest, coolest experience. Another one with Ronan. He's sitting on the edge of my bed, and I'm just sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. He doesn't really know what's going on and why I'm having such a hard time, but he knows that I'm at like the end in my soul. And he's talking to me and talking to me. And he's like, "I'm going to go now, but I want to ask you something. Will you promise me that you won't give up?" And you know what? For the first time in my life in that moment, I said to him, "I can't promise you that because I feel like I want to." And he said, "It's okay. We can do this. You're going to be okay, Mom. You always are." And he gave me a big hug, and he said, "Don't give up today." And I said, "Okay, I won't." And he walked out, and then, Daniel and I kept talking. It's like, those moments are gold. That's not going to be a moment that he looks back on and is like, "Oh my gosh, my mom was so depressed." That's going to be fire for him when he changes other people's life, when he is on the phone with people and he's saving their life, right? When they're at their wits' end. Like, he knows how to handle those situations. I never believed that being so honest with him has destroyed him. I never believe pushing him to his internal greatness was a bad choice as his mom. Like, he's given me so much, and those are just 2 examples. He's given me so much because I've allowed him that space to be for me when he can connect for me that I can't be for myself, just like my husband. Now, my 12-year-old, he's not there yet. He doesn't do that, and that's okay, right? It isn't about that. It's just about that we're like such a close fucking family. We truly are. I feel like my 12-year-old's a little bit more out on the outskirts, right, than the other 3 of us. But that's because he has my personality, my fuck off and defiant, I'm doing everything I want sort of personality. So he's working into that. But lesson 21, it's okay to let your kids grow up. It's okay to let them step into their power. It's okay to let them make even more of their own decisions and mistakes as they're turning into their own adult self. I always tell people this. My kids are 12 and 15 at the time that I'm recording this. And for the most part, I'm done raising them at this stage. The next stage is as an adult and dealing with the world and conflict resolution with partners and in jobs and bills and longevity and quality of life and memories and children and parenting and maybe separation or divorce and death and birthright. Like, especially my oldest, he's done. And sorry about that. And my youngest is, he's close. We don't do a lot of rearing, right? We're to that point where we are now reaping the benefits, if you will, of, or seeing the result, maybe not the benefits, but seeing the result of our parenting. I'm obviously highly argumentative because my kids, especially my oldest, argues about everything. You know what I mean? But it's okay to let your kids grow up, and your husband and your partner, right? And my bonus lesson for 2021 is it's okay to feel your feelings and not be angry, mad, or upset. This was a huge lesson for me. And I really just it really connected with me just the other day, where I realized that just because things aren't going the way that you want, maybe disconnected and emotional, emotional connection in my marriage, or I feel like my kids are not doing what they're supposed to, or whatever it is, just because I feel a certain way, it's okay to feel those ways and not be mad, upset, or angry. And my entire life, we're going to talk about this more in The Angry Little Girl, it's always been like, when there's a thing, it's mad, angry, or upset. It's not just like, this is how I'm feeling and it's really bothering me and it's got to change because it's part of my non-negotiable. It's never been so straightforward and factual. There's always the emotional charge of the anger or the being mad or the being upset. And I've realized that it's okay to feel your feelings and it not have to turn to one of those three things in order for them to be felt. So as 2021 comes to a close, and you have been on this journey with me for 5 months, so not even half the year, 5 months in just hearing my heart and my soul and just my lessons, right? All the things that we have talked about in what feels like such a short time, but it's been a long time as well. I am so excited for the journey into 2022 and my growth and my lessons and my blessings and the space that I have made by releasing and blessing all of my journey to this point. There will always be a special place in my heart for all the things that I have gone through and all the lessons that I've learned and all the growth that I have had. I'm just no longer holding on to them as filling up space and the baggage that no longer serves me. And I hope that as you go into the rest of 2021 and so blessed into the pits of your soul and release your own past years of however long it is and step into 2022 as a new year and a clean slate. Not necessarily a new version of you, because you have to create that, you have to build that, you got to do the fucking work, but the clean slate for the possibility of what is going to be for you in 2022. So as I sign off here for the last time of 2021, I want to say to you to remember to give yourself some grace. Say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. And remember, it's always about progress, not perfection. Thank you so much for listening to the Soul Fire podcast. I truly appreciate you taking out your time to be here. I would love it if you would subscribe and share. And at the end of each episode, head over to community.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's community.soulhealingzone.com. And share with me, what was your number one takeaway? What really connected with you? What got your fire lit? What was something that you absolutely loved about this episode? I cannot wait to continue creating more episodes with you, connecting with you, and helping you through this journey on this thing called life. I'll see you later.